Good afternoon. It's Friday, November 15, 2024. Mental health is real. Seek help, end the stigma. On the news this afternoon. Drama as PDP lawyers clash over Rivers Assembly case at appeal court. NJC suspends Rivers Anambra High Court judges. Police tighten security, deploy officers across local government areas in Ondo State. SEC proposes bill to fine Ponzi scheme operators. On the foreign scene, 10 dead in fire at Spanish care home. I'm Ifichuku Moile with the news. A mad drama played out before the Abuja division of the Court of Appeal on Thursday as two senior lawyers clashed, insisting they separately represent the PDP over the case that is seeking to sack the 27 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Trouble started after a special panel, the appellate court constituted to hear all the matters relating to the political crisis in Rivers State, called up the appeals for hearing. And the panel later told the two lawyers to go sort out their issues. The lawyer that represented the Rivers State government, Godi Uche, told the court that aside from the 11 cases, 4 more appeals bordering on the crisis in the state had also been filed. Now, he asked for an adjournment to enable the matters to be combined, and the court granted it, fixing November 22nd as the return date for another round of the appeals. The appellate court has scheduled a total of 11 appeals involving different parties in the state for hearing. Among the cases included an appeal the Rivers State government filed to stay the execution of the judgment that mandated Governor Siminalayi Fubara to represent his 2024 budget proposal to the Martin Amehule-led lawmakers, as well as an appeal the Action People's Party APP filed to declare seats of the lawmakers vacant over their alleged defection to the APC. Also listed for hearing was an appeal which was filed by the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Earlier, in the proceedings that lasted over 6 hours, the court reserved its judgment on 5 consolidated appeals that bordered on the local government elections that were recently held in Rivers State. The appeals were filed by the Attorney General of Rivers State, the Social Democratic Party, SDP, and Boot Party, while the APC filed 2 cross appeals. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, was listed as a respondent in the appeals. Recall that Justice Peter Alifu of the Federal High Court in Abuja had, in a judgment he delivered on September 30th, barred INEC from releasing voters' register to the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission (RISIEC) for the conduct of the local government elections that were held on October 5th. The orders followed a suit that was filed by the APC. Now, the judgment followed an order of the High Court in Rivers State, which allowed for the polls to be held as scheduled. In another development, the National Judicial Council (NJC) has suspended Justice G.C. Agoma of the High Court of Rivers State and Justice A.O. Nwabunike of the Anambra State High Court from performing judicial functions. Now, they were both suspended for 1 year without pay and placed on watch list for 2 years thereafter. The decision was taken at the 107th meeting of the NJC, chaired by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, on Wednesday and Thursday. Now, 5 serving judicial officers were sanctioned for various acts of misconduct. The council also recommended 2 heads of court for compulsory retirement over falsification of age. The Chief Judge of Imo State, Justice Chukwuemeka Chikeka, and the Grand Kadi of Yobe State, Kadi Babagana Mahdi, were recommended for compulsory retirement for falsification of their ages. Moving on, some Rivers PDP stakeholders are reacting to the statement by the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, accusing members of the party of trying to bring him down instead of trying to resolve its leadership crisis. Recall that the minister, who is the former Rivers State governor, made a comment during a media chat on Wednesday. Speaking in an interview with our correspondent Suebi Oruware, former spokesperson of the Rivers PDP Campaign Council, Ogbonna, said the FCT minister's comment will not affect the reconciliatory moves by stakeholders of the party.
Well, the issue is not what Wike says or does not say. The issue is what the party wants to do. Consulting at this time, find a way out and make the peace within the PDP. We should not be in any way worried about what the Minister of FCT says or does not at this point. What is critical is the position of the party. Party leaders getting together after that election to see what they can do to salvage the PDP. Critical members of the party who, by their contributions to the party, have also emerged as strong stakeholders.
Mr. Wike urged the FCT minister to watch how the internal crisis in the party will be resolved by those interested in the party's unity.
My only area of interest is that we concern the civil society, where he said that the governor has been giving money to civil society. All human rights activists in this state were in block. If there is an invitation extended to the group by the governor, we will discuss it and we attend as a group to see the governor because he's the governor of the state. But that has never been done and we did not meet with the governor. If persons who claim to be human rights activists are meeting with the governor, that is up to Wike to name the people, but not it should not say civil society because that has never happened.
A former spokesman of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, Anam Saraiwe, also spoke on this.
Well, we have said it over and over. The crisis in River State is all about the control of the River State resource. For he wanted SIM to be his third term, want to use him as a third term in office. He's not getting that. That's why we're having all the confusion in the state. So he wants to bring somebody whom he thinks he can use for his third term. The president who he may bring may even worse than SIM, because SIM as a person have a lot of affection for him, a lot of respect for him, and it's all ready to fight him. But the next person he will bring that is thinking it will be better than SIM, does he know how the person will react to him if he wants to control him?
On the spot, Niger Delta human rights activist Celestine Abubari urged the FCT minister to stop saying that the civil society organizations in River State have been pocketed by Governor Fubara.
My only area of interest is that we concern the civil society, where he said that the governor has been giving money to civil society. All human rights activists in this state were in block. If there is an invitation extended to the group by the governor, we will discuss it and we attend as a group to see the governor because he's the governor of the state. But that has never been done and we did not meet with the governor. If persons who claim to be human rights activists are meeting with the governor, that is up to Wike to name the people, but not it should not say civil society because that has never happened.
Now elsewhere, 3 candidates in the Ondo gubernatorial election have adopted Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, the standard bearer of the APC. Now they gave their support during a solidarity visit on Thursday. The candidates are Ajibola Falaye of the Accord Party, Jenyo Atawunko of the National Rescue Movement (NRM), and Olaide Ibrahim, deputy gubernatorial candidate of the African Democratic Congress (ADC). Speaking on behalf of his colleagues, Mr. Falaye said Governor Aiyedatiwa is dedicated to the progress of Ondo State. He said the state has been experiencing relative peace under his watch, which reflects his commitment to safeguarding the lives of our people. In the meantime, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Abiodun Alabi, has assured of the readiness of the Nigeria Police and other security agencies for the November 16 governorship election in Ondo State. He gave the assurance while briefing newsmen on Thursday in Akure after meeting with the heads of security agencies in the state. Still to come, SEC proposes bill to fine Ponzi scheme operators. Stay with us.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Hey, welcome back. Now, students of Uyghur University have been told to strive to live right and persevere through life's transient challenges. The Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi, gave this charge while delivering his keynote address at the maiden matriculation ceremony of the university. The Kano Emir, who shared his philosophy of fearless ambition as a foundation of success, urged the 120 matriculating students to rise as change makers who will shape Africa's future.
One of the things that helps me is always a sense that you want to be on the right side of history. You could be facing discomfort today, but in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, history will say you were on the right side. Remember that everything is transient. So if you remember that everything you do today, you're writing your own history, and you think of how you would like to be remembered in history, it allows you to do the right thing. My advice to the young people is to remember that the refusal to succumb to fear is the secret to success in life.
Also, the daughter of the late founder Tochi Wigwe delivered a heartfelt goodwill message to the matriculants.
I'll leave you with these 3 simple lessons I've learned along the way. Number 1, you only miss the opportunities you do not take. Number 2, you are so much stronger and braver than you ever would think. And the final one, God will never give you a battle you are not equipped to handle. And so, the first class of Wigwe University: go, build, challenge yourself, and above all, be fearless. The world is waiting for you to show up and show out.
Our correspondent who visited some pharmaceutical stores, I beg your pardon. On the spot, the special guest of honor, River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, represented by Commissioner for Education Ovi Chukwuma, encouraged the students to set high standards, work diligently, and contribute positively to their communities. Our correspondent reports that students at College of Art, College of Engineering, College of Management and Social Sciences, and College of Science and Computing recited their matriculation oath and were officially welcomed into the community of the fearless at Uyghur University. The event, which marks a milestone in the institution's journey, had representatives of the Ministry of Education led by the Commissioner for Education Ovi Chukwuma, the Inyawale of Isiobo, King Blessing Wago Wagidi the 40th, members of Port Harcourt One Love family, Pastor and Mrs. Shingle Wigwe, Tochi Wigwe, members of the Board of Trustees and Governing Council, Vice Chancellor of Federal University Otueke, and Charles Adias in attendance. To health stories now. A professor of diabetes and endocrinology, Sunday Chineye, has dismissed insinuations that diabetes in adults is caused by intake of sugary or sugary foods while growing up. Professor Chineye, who spoke on World Diabetes Day yesterday, said diabetes is caused by the inability of the pancreas to produce enough insulin that helps lower blood sugar levels.
There's an organ in the body called the pancreas. It is the weakness of the pancreas that causes diabetes. The pancreas handles all the nutrients in the human body. So the pancreas controls these nutrients through a special hormone it produces called insulin. It is this inability of the pancreas to produce insulin that leads to diabetes. Even if you have taken all the carbohydrates in particular, as long as your pancreas is strong, you will not develop diabetes. So it is not really a matter of you have taken sugary things. No, it is actually a very false narrative.
Speaking on the rising cost of anti-diabetic routine drugs, Professor Chineye said Nigeria needs to get to the level where pharmaceutical drugs are produced locally. A correspondent who visited some pharmaceutical stores in Port Harcourt reports that the glucometer kit is now priced at 25,000 naira, while a pack of 50 test strips costs 15,000 naira. Also, insulin previously sold for 8,000 naira and 9,000 naira now sells at 18,000 naira. Routine diabetic medications are being sold at 11,000 naira per pack. Now, the theme for this year's World Diabetes Day is breaking barriers, bridging gaps, uniting to strengthen diabetes well-being. And now in business, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) says the Investment and Security Bills 2024 is proposing a penalty of not less than 20 million or 10 years imprisonment or both for Ponzi scheme operators. The Director General of SEC, Emomotimi Agama, spoke at the public hearing of the bill on Thursday in Abuja. Mr. Agama said the bill also prescribed stringent jail terms and other stiff sanctions for the promoters of Ponzi schemes. Now, the Federal Executive Council (FEC) has approved a proposed national budget of 47.9 trillion naira for the 2025 fiscal year. Minister of Budget and Economic Planning Atiku Bagudu said this while briefing State House journalists after the FEC meeting presided over by President Bola Tinubu on Thursday. Mr. Bagudu outlined several key parameters that will guide the 2025 budget based on economic projections and government priorities. These include a projected gross domestic product (GDP) growth rate of 4.6% for 2025, an oil price benchmark of $75 per barrel, and an exchange rate of 1,400 naira to $1. Also, the government anticipates oil production at 2.06 million barrels per day. In terms of fiscal strategy, the budget assumes that the government will borrow approximately 13.8 trillion naira, about 3.87% of the GDP, to fund key infrastructure projects and economic initiatives. And now to entertainment. Popular comedian Otolori Kehinde Peter, also known as Kenny Black, is set to host his comedy show, The Oxymoron of Kenny Black, in Port Harcourt on Sunday, November 17 at Aztec Alcom Stadium Road. The event will feature a mix of music, comedy, dance, and drama, with appearances by top entertainers like K.O. Baba, Mujaga, Arize Baba, Aproko, George Too Funny, and Duncan Mighty, who will close the show with his music. Kenny Black spoke to our correspondent on this.
When it comes to Kenny Black, the comedy is different. You know, when people are saying their comedy, Kenny Black is expressing his comedy with music. And this time around, they get to see Kenny Black in his full form, coming with my band, my amazing production crew. So what you will see me do at this event is something I will not do at any other person's event. So expect the best of music, expect the best of comedy, expect the best of improv, expect the best of stage and theater performance like never before. All expressed through comedy.
Now, he also spoke about the evolution of music comedy, crediting pioneers like Benga Adeboye, Julius Agbo, and Clinton Drunk, and expressed optimism about the future of the genre and the rising talents shaping the industry.
People get bored with too much talk. But people don't get bored with too much music. That's what made music comedy stand out. And I think that has been the thing that has made us consistent in the music comedy. Yeah, it's expanding right now. Madam Sandler is selling out stadiums. I'm about to sell out a stadium in December in Lagos. Just Too Funny when it was in America's Got Talent, you know. So music comedy is expanding now. We hope that, yes, when one of these days, you know, we'll see music comedy winning best comedy album, best music comedy album, you know. And we hope that one of these days we say go win Grammy.
And now to sports. Boxer Mike Tyson slapped Jake Paul at a charged weigh-in for today's controversial heavyweight fight in Texas. 27-year-old novice boxer Paul would take on 58-year-old Tyson at the &T Stadium in Dallas. After both men weighed in, Paul crawled across the floor before rising up to Tyson's eyeline for the traditional final head-to-head. Tyson had refused to engage with Paul's Golden for much of fight week now, but slapped his opponent across the face, prompting security and team members to rush in to separate the fighters.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
At least 10 people have been killed and others hurt in a fire that broke out at a care home near Zaragoza in northeastern Spain. Emergency services say the fire broke out in the town of Vilafranca de Ebro early this morning, and local officials said 82 people were living in the home at the time. The center opened 16 years ago as a retirement home, but has since specialized in care for residents with dementia and mental health problems.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this afternoon, you heard there was drama as PDP lawyers clashed over Rivers Assembly case at the appeal court. NJC has suspended Rivers and Anambra High Court judges. And on the foreign scene, you heard that 10 people have died in a fire at Spanish care home. The news was edited by Martha Okeri. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyeli. Many thanks for listening.